My operation is at a crossroads. As you'll see in a minute, my Bricklink sales were about a quarter of my eBay sales, which means my Bricklink sales are growing and my eBay sales are shrinking, which is what I've wanted all along. It's just happening a little faster than I thought it would. So I have made a decision. I totally reset my eBay store to 0. Couple factors going into that. One, couple times a week I was like, I don't know where this thing is, I gotta go find it when something's sold on eBay. And part of that is I've moved 2 or 3 times while doing this, so stuff gets shifted around. I've condensed bins and just didn't update the SKU number because I wasn't doing a good job. And I was just getting frustrated of like spending 10 minutes looking for a $5 item. Like, that's just, it's not fun. It's not only not fun, it just doesn't make business sense, right? If you're gonna sell a $5 item, you need to just go, boop, put it in a bag, done, right? So I'm gonna go through section by section. 1, 2, all of that. Those drawers back there, these drawers, the drawers in the closet, all of it. And I'm just gonna go through, relist what's worth keeping, and get rid of what's not. I've already done that from here up, and some of this you'll see is nice and empty looking. Did that here too, got lots of empty space growing. So we're gonna be moving all this out. Now I am highly tempted to just, grab all the PS4 games and put them up as an auction, but we'll see how adventurous I get. If you're and of course I have my storage unit as well where stuff is also hiding that I'm going to be getting rid of / getting into a better organization system. So it's going to be a huge project, but I feel like this was the only way to do it. Reset to 0 and start fresh. Otherwise it would just be like, what's in here? Go find it, delete it. Oh, go find it, delete it. Now it's just a brand new slate, and it feels really good actually. So now, if you are new to the channel, welcome. If you are a regular viewer, welcome back. Here's what's gonna happen. Once a month, I look at the previous month, and I look at all the numbers and say, how did I do? And it's just cold, hard numbers, and we look at mistakes I made, we look at things I did really well. So let's just dive right in. I am recording this, you guys are a little wicked, the night of the 29th of February. So technically we don't have the final numbers, but for the purposes of this video, close enough. I'm not gonna make another $1,000 in the next 2 hours. Like, not worried about it. Okay, movie magic. Let me scoot over a little bit to make editing easier. There we go. Okay, eBay gross. Total amount sold on eBay, $3,675.34. And interesting about this, as you'll see, lowest gross February of the last 4 years, but my highest net, which is pretty fantastic. Part of that might be the leap year doesn't have anything to do with it. So that means I kept my spending under control, as we will take a closer look at here in a minute. Bricklink, this is what I was talking about, $983.93. That's awesome. We've just started keeping track of eBay and Bricklink separately as far as like this format. So it's more than it has been, that's for sure. Last month, January, Bricklink was only $624. So we've increased by $360. Is that right? Yep. Cool. I'm convinced that's going to keep growing because I just keep putting more and more energy into it. So that's the plan. Speaking of energy and stuff growing, YouTube, $151.87. Booyah. That feels great. That is January and February kind of mishmashed together. I didn't get a payout in January. Good news is, as of tonight, the 29th, I crossed the threshold for February. you got to pass $100 to receive a payout from Google, and I passed that. So technically I'm at $100 a month so far. January was like $98, so I just barely missed it. February, past 100. I gotta look up and see if I am within the you gotta hit it within a certain window for it to like process, and so you get the payout. It's a lot of legal mumbo jumbo kind of stuff that I don't pay much attention to, but now I will start, now that I'm sitting right on that threshold. I'll be very curious if I can do it again in March, and hopefully a little more. That'd be really cool. I picked up some extra gigs in February for $168.75. This is something I've been doing to help supplement the business, but specifically January was a very expensive month, so I was very aggressive in trying to find some extra money to help February feel better. And speaking of which, I did some freelance video editing for $220, leaving us with a total gross of $5,199.89. That's a great number. I like that number. And then fees, we got to start taking stuff out. Fees, minus $625.46. Fees on Bricklink are lower. I'm sure that is part of this equation. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if the fee number keeps dropping. In January, my fees were $812.97, so almost $200 more. There were a lot more sales on eBay. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Shipping costs $884.37. That is something I expect to go down the more and more I do Bricklink. Majority of my Bricklink packages are 8 ounces and under, and a great deal of those being 4 ounces and under, which is the cheapest shipping rate. So that's going to be super interesting to keep track of as well. Shipping in January, I gotta stop comparing to January because there were a lot more sales. So I'm gonna stop doing that. Consignment, I still have some consignment things floating out there. Not a ton of money, $12.74. I haven't even paid out for January yet, so I'll just lump it all together and send it to the guy I'm doing that for. And then this will probably be my last time doing it because I hate keeping track of it. Cost of goods. Okay, we are going to compare to January on this one. $993.57, and a lot of that came right here in the last few days of February. I got that big $370 buy, and then you guys will have, you'll have seen it by then, the $190 buy. So that's a huge chunk of that portion right there. Cost of goods in January were $3,357. So we got it under control for February, and given the amount of work I have to do, you can see that mess back there. You can't see the mess down here, but believe me, there's a mess. I shouldn't have to do a lot of shopping. It's just gonna be a lot of maintenance and getting stuff posted and parting stuff out. So that number should be even less for March, unless of course another super sweet deal comes along. Ideally, March and April, we might start seeing garage sales in April around here. It's been a really warm winter, so it's kind of hard to predict. But ideally, March and April, I continue this lay low kind of thing, unless really good deals come up, and then garage sale season starts. And thrift stores are fun, but they're getting really expensive, so I'm kind of starting to cut it out of my routine. Ideally, I would like to. What were we talking about? Cost of goods. Shipping supplies, $72.42. Bubble wrap, boxes, things like that. I actually need to order more boxes because I am running out up there. But bubble mailers, got a ton of those, and those have been great for Bricklink, so that's keeping that cost down as well. Apparently Bricklink is just saving me money just for the very act of what I'm doing. And then other expenses, storage unit, the little Ziploc baggies, that should probably fall under shipping supplies, refunds, things like that. They kind of just get lumped into here. $309.58, leaving us with a net for the month of February. $2,301.75. And comparing year for year, it is our best February of the last 4 years. That feels fantastic. Our next best one was 2022, $2,038. So things are getting better, and it feels great. So of course, I will finalize those numbers over the next couple days and make sure my record keeping is correct, but I am very, very happy with where I am right now. And I'm very happy with the decision to kind of just hit a big old reset button. Something else I'm really discovering I appreciate about Bricklink is you're not really playing an algorithm game. Like on eBay, you gotta post every day, you gotta make sure you refresh things, blah, 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 blah. On Bricklink, if you got the parts somebody's looking for, they're gonna find you. I mean, there's a little bit of algorithm at play with that, I think. I think they, who's closest, who's got the cheapest parts and things like that. But as long as you got the stuff, somebody's gonna find you. And I really appreciate not being like, come on, eBay, why don't I have any sales? Like, I don't know, it feels really good. And I'll be interested to see how that continues to play out here in the near future. What do y'all think? Was this a good move? Probably TBD, as it all happened today. So if in the next week I come out with a video of like, I'm not making any money, and then we'll probably be able to point back at this and know exactly why. Although I relisted those 2 shelves, and then like 30 minutes later I got a sale for something. So out of just, what am I up to now? 64 listings, I think, 63, something like that. So I think it's going to be really good in the long run. And if any of you have any experience doing something similar, I'd be curious to hear if that was successful for you as well. Anywho, 10 p.m. on a Thursday night. I almost thought it was Friday for a second. What am I doing? I'll catch y'all later. And keep moving. Whoa, Buzzy. Keep moving forward, y'all. Bye.